give you a revision of the types of budget we have done, which are important from your exam point of view. Though there are a number of budgets which the company can prepare, but we mainly focused on the preparation of cash budget, which was to calculate the closing cash balance at the end of each period. So we were using the receipts and payment method, wherein we were adding all the cash receipts to the opening cash balance and reducing it by all the cash payments. Okay. Now this difference gave me the surplus cash holding or the deficit in cash holding at the end of a particular period. After that, the second budget which we prepared was a flexible budget. A flexible budget helps you to get an overview of how the cost structure of the firm will change when there is a change in the capacity at which the firm is operating. तो 60% कैपेसिटी पे क्या कॉस्ट होगी, 70%, 80%, एंड henceforth जो भी कैपेसिटी वेरिएशन के साथ कॉस्ट में वेरिएशन आएगी, per unit cost of production में variation आएगी, that you come to know by a flexible budget. So here we divided the cost into three types. One was a fixed cost which remained the same irrespective of the level of operation. Then at the other end you had the variable cost, which changes, which increases with the increase in the scale of production, and in between we had the semi-variable cost, where you see a part increase in the value, in the cost, with an increase in the overall scale of production. Okay. These were the two types of budget which we have done practically, and they are important from your exam point of view. Apart from this, a firm can prepare a sales budget just to see what will be the overall sales, what are the sales forecast for the coming period, and accordingly prepare a budget for the same. Okay. Then other types of budget which the firm can make. Out of that, from your theory point of view, one budget or one budgeting technique is very important, which is zero-based budgeting. Okay, this is important from your theory point of view. What is zero-based budgeting? Again, a literal meaning, जहां पर हर बारी आप बजट प्रिपेयर करते हुए बेस लेवल पे जीरो लोगे. What is a base level? Can anyone tell me what is base level? Yes, you are economic students. एनी आइडिया कि जो आपके मार्केट इंडेक्स होते हैं उनका बेस लेवल होता है, आपका जो होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स होता है, इन्फ्लेशन कैलकुलेट होती है, उसका बेस लेवल होता है. यस.
नो मैम.
लोअर लिमिट
prices of previous year or
प्रीवियस ईयर होता है हमेशा बेस लेवल.
no, I'm not certainly.
अच्छा, one general question. You are seeing that some of you might be following the stock market. Are you seeing that there is an upward swing, downward swing? Nifty में इतना
Yes, ma'am.
increase हुआ, ये सब आप लोगों को कुछ ना कहीं एक आइडिया है. And then you also know that Sensex has a much higher value than Nifty.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now Sensex is for BSC.
DSC. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it has 50 securities.
Yes, ma'am.
50 और 30. निफ्टी में 50 सिक्योरिटीज होती हैं
मैम
और
BSC
सेंसेक्स में 30 securities हैं. Okay. Now, why is there a
Top
difference
market cap
in
30
the
BSE. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ BSE में 30 है and Nifty में 50 है. Why is there a difference in the values of both the indices? Though more or less they are representing the same set of securities, okay, which are important from the economy point of view also. The basic reason for difference is that their base value is different. For Nifty, the base year is 1995, while for Sensex it is 78-79. 1978-79. तो 78-79 से आज तक इंडेक्स की वैल्यू 50,000 तक पहुंची है सेंसेक्स की, और 1995 से निफ्टी की वैल्यू आज तक 14-15,000 के अराउंड मूव कर रही है. ओके, सो बेस वैल्यू एक्चुअली is giving you a more realistic picture of how a particular thing has progressed. Same thing is with budgeting also. If I am preparing the budget for 2021-22, ठीक है, and we say that 2020-21 के बजट के मुकाबले इस साल जो हेल्थ एक्सपेंडिचर है that has say increased by 5%. Okay, now this is over the previous year. So here the base value is the previous year. Now this can be over the value of 2000 also, 2010 also. तो जिस वैल्यू से आप कंपेयर कर रहे हो, जो आपकी बेंचमार्क वैल्यू है वो आपका बेस हो जाता है. जीरो बेस्ड बजटिंग में मेरी बेंचमार्क क्या है? हमेशा वैल्यू 0. So I am always preparing the budget fresh. I am always starting at 0. That is zero based budgeting. Okay, I am not taking any other base. Every time I am preparing it afresh. Okay, so no comparison with what has taken place in the past. So this can be good for the firm also, and it can work the other way round also. It can be good for the firm in the sense that you are always moving with a fresh approach. You are not dependent on the previous values, but then there is no benchmark to make comparison. How will you compare whether your firm has improved over the past period or not? So that becomes a limitation. You're not having details about what has happened in the past. Okay, and then you are doing analysis of each and every work afresh. तो बहुत ज़्यादा आपका workload भी increase हो जाता है under zero-based budgeting. Though there is proper evaluation every time of each and every activity being done in the firm, you are keeping a control on the expenditure freshly every time. But इससे हमारा पेपर वर्क भी बहुत इंक्रीज होता है. इसके अलावा फर्म और टाइप्स ऑफ बजट प्रिपेयर कर सकती है, जैसे एडमिन के लिए अलग बजट हो जाए, सेलिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए अलग बजट हो जाए, एंड देन ओवरऑल बजट ऑफ द फर्म, फैक्ट्री का बजट हो जाए, लेबर का बजट हो जाए, ओवरऑल जो आपके फर्म का बजट है उसको हम बोलते हैं मास्टर बजट, जिसमें सारे एस्पेक्ट्स फर्म के कंसिडर हो जाते हैं. ओके, so this is what you need to cover in budget and budgetary control. If there's any question in this, I'll take it up right now, else we'll move ahead to the next topic. Yes, class. I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So let's move to the next topic, which is marginal costing, CVP analysis. So I believe marginal costing, marginal cost term आपने economics में पढ़ी हुई है.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can anyone tell me what is marginal cost?
Ma'am, the cost that a firm incurred when a unit quantity is increased in the production.
Okay, so with one additional unit of production, what is the increase in the cost? That is known, the increase in the cost is known as the marginal cost of production. Okay, now if you remember when we were doing types of cost, there was one topic I left at that time, that was marginal costing versus absorption costing. So I told you that I'll take this up in the last unit at that time. So I'll just give you, because this is again important from your theory point of view. Please keep a track of the topics I am telling you are important from theory or from your practical point of view. That will help you in preparation. Okay, coming to marginal costing versus absorption costing. Now, these are two techniques. Either of the technique can be followed by the firm when it is preparing its overall cost statement. Marginal costing में और absorption costing में जो actual difference आता है वो आता है आपका treatment of fixed cost और variable cost को लेके. Fixed cost remains same irrespective of the level of production, while variable cost will change with change in the units or the level of production. Now, marginal cost says that all variable costs are product cost. Product cost, while all fixed costs are period cost. Absorption costing says whether it is variable cost or fixed cost, both are your product cost. This is the main difference between both the techniques of costing. Now, product cost is the cost that can be traced directly to the final product. ओके तो आपकी जो रॉ मटेरियल की कॉस्ट है, डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर, फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स, ये सब आपके डायरेक्टली फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट तक ट्रेस होते हैं. These costs collectively are known as the product cost. I repeat myself that there are certain costs which can be classified as product or period cost. Now, product cost is the cost that can be traced to the final unit produced. So that includes direct material plus direct labor plus the factory overheads. On the other hand, what is period cost? Period cost is the cost which is related to a particular time period. तो आपके जो भी ओवरहेड्स होते हैं, एडमिन ओवरहेड्स और योर सेल्स ओवरहेड्स, मार्केटिंग ओवरहेड्स, all these are related to a particular time period. So they come under the period cost. Selling and distribution, office, and admin overheads. These are related to a particular time period. They are not exactly traceable to a final unit produced, but they are spread over all the units produced during a particular time period. Hence, they are known as period cost. Okay, so आपका मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग क्या करता है, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देता है प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट को, while variable costing, absorption costing will give more importance to both the equal importance to both types of cost. Actual जो इसका difference आता है वो practically आता है, but practical part is not in your exam. So we should just understand what is theoretical difference between the two. Okay, we are focusing more on marginal costing, which is also known as variable costing, because as I said, it is focusing on the cost, which is the variable cost. So this is your variable costing or marginal costing technique. Okay, no issues, Sumit and Manjeet. But if I keep class at 9:30, please try and join in last by 9:40. Okay, and in this week, because this is the last week of teaching, I'll shift some timings. Okay, whenever possible, I'll take the class at 9:30. Otherwise at 12:30, and if required I'll take extra classes also, but within 3 classes we'll wind up the syllabus, so please join on time. Okay, moving ahead, now let's move to marginal costing as a technique. What is CVP analysis? I am using this term. So what kind of income statement do we follow? Sales minus variable cost gives you the contribution minus fixed cost gives you the profit. This is the pattern of income statement, format of income statement that we are following. Now, all of you know that fixed cost is the same. So, the main motive of the firm should be to maximize the contribution for the sales made. Maximize the contribution per unit, क्योंकि फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट तो चाहे जितना भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हो, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट आपकी सेम रहेगी. तो जो एम होना चाहिए फर्म का, दैट शुड बी टू मैक्सिमाइज द कंट्रीब्यूशन per unit. Okay, so using these terms, we come to one of the most important ratios, which is the PV ratio. This is the profit volume ratio. Profit volume ratio. Now this gives us it is a measure of profitability of the firm. क्योंकि अगर आपका PV ratio high है, high PV ratio will signify more contribution. High PV ratio means that with increase in sales, there will be increase in profits without any change in fixed cost. High PV ratio shows higher profitability for the firm. क्योंकि अगर सेल्स इंक्रीज होंगी, कंट्रीब्यूशन इंक्रीज होगा, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट आपका सेम ही है, तो आपका प्रॉफिट भी इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. ओके, एंड वाइस वर्सा, इफ PV ratio is low, it means that with any change in sales, there will be less than proportionate increase in profits. So this would be less than proportionate increase in profits. So to comprehend this better, I am writing the PV ratio. PV ratio is contribution upon sales into 100. Okay.
Even when PV will be decreasing, sales will increase.
No, I'm just giving you an example. A low PV ratio means that even with increase in sales, your profit is not increasing accordingly. It is indicating a low profitability for the firm. But higher PV ratio means कि contribution ज़्यादा increase हो रहा है, और आपका जो प्रॉफिट है ओवरऑल वो ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो रहा है. लो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इज अ लोअर पीवी रेशियो. High PV ratio means higher profitability. Say the PV ratio is 40%. इसका मतलब क्या है आपका कि 40% अगर 100 रुपए की सेल्स हुई है तो 40 रुपए आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन बन रहा है. इसका मतलब 60% क्या है आपका? कैन एनीवन टेल मी? Out of 100 rupees of sale, 40 rupees is contribution. Then what is 60? The difference.
Variable cost.
Yes. So you have variable cost element of 60%. अब जो 40% का कंट्रीब्यूशन है उससे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट माइनस करके आपका प्रॉफिट निकल आएगा. यही पीवी रेशियो अगर 60% है तो कंट्रीब्यूशन अब 60% है. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कितनी है? 40%, 40 रुपए. अब इस 60 रुपीज से जब आप फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट कम करोगे तो ऑब्वियसली आपका प्रॉफिट मार्जिन क्या होगा? ज्यादा होगा. So higher PV ratio means higher profitability. PV ratio 80%. Sales rupees 100. Fixed cost rupees 30. इसका मतलब कंट्रीब्यूशन 80 रुपए आया, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट माइनस करी 30 रुपीज, प्रॉफिट आ गया आपका 50 रुपीज. ठीक है. On the other hand, PV ratio is 40%. Everything is the same. It means contribution 40 rupees, fixed cost 30 rupees, profit कितना आया? 10 rupees. So a low PV ratio is signifying lower profits for the firm. I hope now the concept is clear.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Pranath, you have a question?
मैम कंट्रीब्यूशन किस चीज के लिए यूज कर रही है हम यहाँ पे, मतलब
कंट्रीब्यूशन बेटा ये देखो, आपको ये पता है कि फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट तो सेम रहेगी, चाहे आप शट डाउन भी कर लो फर्म को तब भी फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट आपको बियर करनी है. तो आप अपने सेलिंग प्राइस पे किस हद तक वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कवर कर रहे हो वो कंट्रीब्यूशन आपको बता रहा है. जैसे मैंने बोला 100 रुपए आपका सेल्स है, अगर आपकी पीवी रेशियो 80% है, इसका मतलब 80 रुपए आप हर सेल्स यूनिट पर अर्न कर रहे हो, 20 रुपए आपकी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है.
मैम फिर प्रॉफिट और कंट्रीब्यूशन में डिफरेंस नहीं समझ में आ रहा ना. अर्निंग
लाउडली बोलो. प्रॉफिट और कंट्रीब्यूशन में ये डिफरेंस है कि प्रॉफिट कैलकुलेट करने के लिए आप फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट की एडजस्टमेंट कर रहे हो. अब प्रॉफिट तक आने के लिए हर बारी सेम वैल्यू ऑफ फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट आप माइनस कर रहे हो.
यानी ये जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है ये हमारा प्रॉफिट है, खाली वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को माइनस
कवर करके. हाँ, सिर्फ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को कंसिडर करके जो आपकी अर्निंग हो रही है पर यूनिट उसको हम कंट्रीब्यूशन बोलते हैं.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है.
यस मैम.
और हमारा जो मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग टेक्निक है, जो मैं बार बार बोल रही हूँ कि हम वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को इंपॉर्टेंस दे रहे हैं क्योंकि वो कंट्रीब्यूशन के कॉन्सेप्ट को इंपॉर्टेंस देता है. हमारा जो मेन एम होता है दैट इज टू मैक्सिमाइज द कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट. ओके. So this is the concept of contribution. This is actually forming the base of the whole concept of marginal costing. Okay. Related concept is CVP analysis. CVP, C stands for cost, V stands for volume, and P stands for profit. So cost, volume, profit analysis is your CVP analysis. Now it is basically showing the relationship between these three variables: cost per unit, volume, scale of production, and the profitability. So it shows what effect will, say, sales volume and cost have on the profit of the firm. That is how the operating profit of the firm is being affected by the cost per unit and the scale, the number of units produced. This is being explained by the cost volume profit analysis. Again, here the cost which we consider is the variable cost, because the fixed cost is remaining the same. So cost which is of prime importance is the variable cost under the CVP analysis. So how do we work under CVP analysis, and what kind of values can be calculated? Under that, the most important concept is the break even point. Again, ये आपने इकोनॉमिक्स में थ्योरी में करा होगा. What is break even point, class?
Ma'am, when marginal cost equals to marginal revenue.
ओके यस, मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इक्वल टू मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू. और बहुत हम एक सिंपल फ्रेज यूज करते हैं ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट के लिए, दैट इट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ
No profit, no loss.
वेरी गुड, नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस. अगर फर्म ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट के बियॉन्ड मूव कर जाती है तो प्रॉफिट अर्न करती है, अगर ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट के बिलो रहती है तो लॉस होता है. एंड एक्चुअल में दिस इज इन सिंपल टर्म्स, टोटल कॉस्ट इज इक्वल टू टोटल रेवेन्यू, marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. That is the point of break even. ओके अब इसको हम ग्राफिकली भी कर सकते हैं. हम अकाउंट्स में जो फोकस करते हैं ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट पे, पहले हम इसको फॉर्मूला मेथड से करते हैं, विच इज द algebraic method of calculating break even point. Okay, so what is the formula? There are two formulas. One is units में break even point and one is in rupees. In units, break even point is your fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Fixed cost divided by the contribution. In rupees, it is fixed cost divided by the PV ratio. So break even point, units में how many units of product should be produced to break even? It will be fixed cost divided by contribution. In rupees, it will be fixed cost divided by the PV ratio. Okay, so let's take up one simple question on the concept which we have covered till now. Okay, I'll just write down the question. It's not here. I'll just write down the question. You need to calculate the contribution and the break even point in rupees and in units. I'm writing the values. From the information given. Okay, and you need to calculate what is the contribution and PV ratio या सीधा आप ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इन रुपीस कैलकुलेट कर लो. I am writing the formula again for you. Break even point in rupees would be fixed cost upon PV ratio. Please start solving the question, class. Okay, so the first step would be calculation of contribution, and contribution is sales minus your variable cost. आपको 3 टाइप की वेरिएबल कॉस्ट दी हुई है: डायरेक्ट मटेरियल, डायरेक्ट लेबर and variable overheads. So you add them up and you are getting how much? 30 lakh 20,000, 30 lakh 40,000 as your variable cost. Yes, class. So now your contribution will be 40 lakh minus 30 lakh 40,000, which will be 9 lakh 60,000. Step 2 would be calculation of PV ratio, because for this formula fixed cost हमारे पास दी हुई है 4,80,000. We need to calculate the PV ratio, which is contribution upon sales into 100. So how much is the ratio coming to? Please calculate, class. Yes, answer.
24.
24%. Okay. So now you can get the final answer: 4,80,000 divided by 24 या 0.24. So you will get how much the break even point. तो 20 लाख आ गए तो डायरेक्ट आ जाएगा. Yes, 24% is your PV ratio, and then you get your break even point in rupees as rupees 20 lakh.